Clear or not?
Yes, sir. When can we start? Yes, Dr. Nias. When can we start?
Yes, sir. We are ready to start.
Shall we start?
Yes, sir. We can start. We can start.
The students are there already. Can any one of you let me know the answer for these two questions?
Sir, most of the students are in classroom, so
Okay.
they'll be only typing the answers.
But where can I see the typing?
Sir, I will explain the thing. I think students will post now.
They are in at hostel or in your classroom right now?
In our classroom.
Okay.
In our classroom.
Okay, great. Then it is going to be a lecture. It cannot be an interactive session then.
Yes, it will be like a lecture.
Okay, I'll just start with. Good evening, everyone. And this is Dr. Amit Lal from DBMCI MDS Experts. I'm the academic director as well as the head for the institute. And I've been into this NEET MDS education when it was actually not called NEET. It was used to be called All India PG exam. And we are into this since 2006 actually, but that time the name of the institute was different, though the entire team is more or less same. And those were the days when nobody had actually used to plan the things, and we were the first one in India to start with the online test series at the national level. Then the other institutes started coming up, and later on when the things changed up, we drifted towards online portal also. I can proudly say I was the first person in India to start online classes in dentistry in 2017 itself. That was the first small batch of hardly 42 students we could run on the online platform on our mobile app, because that time the internet was a big concern in 2017. Then in 18 the Geo came and the things totally changed. So from 18 we were the, you can say, the most famous name in the country running online classes, especially on the mobile app. And this made the students a very good convenience that they can study the best of content by the best of the team which we have, that we easily boast of. You can watch the videos anytime on your fingertips on your mobile phone. 24/7 those videos are available as a recorded content. Then 2020, after COVID happened, we were the first one in the country again to launch live app. Like when all other institutes were making apps for recorded content, we push further and we are now running two apps. One is called MDS Experts Live. I think most of you have already joined, and in which we conduct live classes and we also conduct test series. Secondly, we have just shifted our entire recorded content from our previous version of app to this new one that is called as eGurukul 2.0. This is a beautiful app which has got a player which resembles Netflix. Okay, with that much high quality and everything, all the features of speed, then in-app downloading, then where you stop the video, it will start from there itself. Then in later stages, we are going to have fragments in the video. Like if suppose your teacher is taking a lecture, you're watching a video of say 40 minutes, it will show like after 5 minutes, this topic will start. After 10 minutes, this topic will start, and so on. Likewise, multiple things are there in this new app. Yesterday only the thing happened, the transition is started. Most of you who are a part of the academy now, they know the things are going on. This is just a brief introduction, but yes, today the main agenda is orientation for the students who are a part of our academy. We welcome you all firstly. Secondly, orientation based on what exactly the NEET MDS exam will demand. We have to know the enemy. I always use the word enemy because this is no less than a war. Whenever you like somebody goes for a war, you always analyze what is the strength and the weakness of the enemy, and you analyze what are the strengths and the weakness of your side. So we will talk in these directions. I'll just briefly summarize what exactly the NEET is going to demand. Okay, then lastly, I'll come up to these questions also. The NEET MDS, as per the last 2 years of pattern of paper, has purely gone down the line of conceptual exam. It is mostly now the case oriented questions which are being asked. Very less factual questions they are being asking nowadays. Plus there are a lot of images they are going to ask you. Okay, even in the subjects like anatomy, physio, pharmac and all, which are very basic elementary subjects, they are going to give you case oriented things, and then they will going to ask you the question. Rather than simply asking what is the drug of choice for typhoid, what they will ask you is they will give you a case scenario in which the patient's disease would have been explained. Maybe some laboratory investigation is also given, and you have to diagnose the disease. Basically, they are not asking you diagnosis, but you have to diagnose the condition of the patient and then answer what is the drug of choice for that particular disease, rather than the previous pattern simply asking you what is the DOC for enteric fever or typhoid. Okay, so this is the major transition, and I'll tell you why this is happening. Because in MBBS, you must have been having friends in the MBBS side. They are now coming up with an exam in future that is called next exam, national eligibility cum exit exam. Okay, this is going to replace the NEET in dentistry also, but this is going to take at least 3 to 4 years from now. So you don't have to worry. All those who are listening to this video right now, this session, you don't have to bother. But the only concern is the DCI is started adopting the methodology of next in the NEET exam. Another strong evidence I'll give you, NEET PG, the exam which MD/MS category students, MBBS graduates have to give, has been announced for 18th of April. And very shockingly, after say around 20-25 years of conducting such exam, they have changed the pattern now. The earlier pattern was they were asking 300 MCQs in 3.5 hours time. I'm talking about PG, not MDS. Now the new pattern, the exam which is going to be held on 18th of April, they are saying we will ask you only 200 MCQs and we will give you same time, that is 3.5 hours. Trust you me on this, everyone has gone mad seeing this. They have reduced the number of questions by 100 and they have not reduced a single minute. You know what does that mean? They are going to eliminate as many as single liner, one liner questions as possible in the MBBS NEET exam this year. So we can expect a similar change happening for NEET MDS as well for the year 2020 December 2021 exam. You may get 200 questions and you may get 3 hours as per the current standard. But till last year, the pattern was 240 MCQs in 3 hours. So 200 questions in more time means the questions will be lengthy. The questions will be more on the clinical side. The question will be more on the application based. It will be more on the application of the concept rather than simple cramming MCQs from the MCQ guide called Pulse or Gauri Shankar. It is not going to help. It hasn't helped in last 2 years. You may ask your seniors who have cleared the NEET. You can watch our channel. Go to YouTube, see MDS experts. Just type MDS experts on YouTube. A lot of videos of interviews we have posted for this year result. You can go through them later on and you will realize for yourself, not even a single student rank 7, 11, 17, 19, 26, anyone will not say cram pulse or Gauri Shankar. It will not going to help. Okay. So this is the idea of the enemy. Enemy is going stronger year by year. So now we have 240 questions as of now. In that, every subject has got weightage of 14 MCQs, except two subjects which have got weightage of 15 each. That is medicine and surgery. Rest every subject will be asking you 14 MCQs in the NEET exam. This 14 actually also means that physio and biochem together are 14, DA, DH together is 14, patho micro together is 14 as per the DCI curriculum. Because in DCI university paper also patho micro are together, physio biochem are together. Okay. Another interesting fact is of the NEET current pattern, OP 14 questions, oral path, OMR 14 questions. Basically 28 questions will be asked. That is more than 10% of the paper. Just 12% of the paper you can say is going to be OP, OMR, which are very much overlapping subject. Okay, this year OP, OMR had been a nightmare for many students who took you can say these two subjects for granted, but yes, our students were the most happy people because they had done maximally in OP and OMR. I'll tell you a very simple theory, a word which you might have heard in your student days when you were in 10th, 11th, 12th standard, probability. A word which you might have come across in your mathematics and probability. I'll ask you a simple question, like I'll ask you and I'll answer only. There are, say, suppose two bags, bag A and bag B. Bag A has got 7 chocolates and bag B has got 28 chocolates. My question to you all is, if I close my eyes and put both my hands simultaneously in both the bags and try to extract as many chocolates as possible, the first question is from which bag I will be able to extract more chocolates. Can anybody answer? All those who are on Zoom can answer me so that I feel that somebody is listening to me. From which bag I will be able to extract more chocolates? A or B? Anyone? Yeah, B. Great. Dr. Niaz, you can speak up in between. That would be more convenient because I have to hop in chat altogether. So answer is B.
Okay, sir. Sir.
I can
Students are
extract.
sending me also.
Yeah.
B, it's B.
Yeah,
Students
B.
are many students
This
are
was
sending.
the easy question. Okay, I can extract 28 chocolates from B and maximum is 7 for A. Now listen to the second question very carefully. It is based on the same probability concept which was taught to you when you were a student in the school days. When I extracting these chocolates, from which bag I have more chances to lose the chocolates? Or I'll rephrase it, in which bag when I'm doing extraction, I have very high chances of losing more chocolates.
Answer is coming as A, B.
Okay. That is the
Mostly
reason
B.
I'm asking you. Answer is again B. Answer is not A. I'll tell you a simple theory what probability taught us. Probability said if you can extract 28 from here, that is B, it also says that you can lose 28 chocolates from B. You maybe when you put up your hand, you come out, you are coming with 0 chocolates. So there are 28 chocolates losing chance in the B category, but you can lose maximum 7 in this category. Now see the correlation. What is the correlation? Correlation is very simple. This 7 is actually, this 7 is something like physio, biochem, patho, micro, DA and DH. And this 28 is my OP plus OMR together for my NEET exam. It means if my OP and OMR are very strong, I may end up scoring 28 out of 28 in them. But if my OP and OMR are weak, I can make up to 28 mistakes in this subject, which are very easy. Okay. Even if my physio or patho is not very strong, I can end up making maximum 7 mistakes in that. I cannot make more than 7 mistakes because the examiner will not ask you more than 7 questions. Why I'm telling you this is some students spend their whole year reading physio or patho or micro or DA or biochem, and they give less time to the subjects which are carrying more value, like the ones which have the weightage of 14 or 15 MCQs or the biggest weightage of 28 MCQs. Why I am clubbing the subjects together is because there is a huge overlap between the two. When I ask you what is the radiographic appearance of, say, osteosarcoma, or what is the radiographic appearance of fibroid dysplasia, you cannot say this question is from OP or OMR. Or if I ask you what is lichen planus, how does it looks like, or what is the treatment modality, you cannot say it is OP or OMR. Okay. So that is the reason. And this was the reason many students failed miserably in this year paper, because they took OP and OMR for granted and they ended up making more than 10-20 mistakes in the easiest of the subject. Again, I'm repeating, we have two segments of NEET. Part 1, Part 2. Part 1 is your basic sciences paper. Part 2 is your clinical sciences paper. That is the dental subjects. Trust me, guys, I have been into this for 15 years now. Any day for a BDS graduate, dental subjects are more easy to read than the medical subjects. Okay, more easy to read and remember. Also, the medical dental subjects carry more value in your NEET. Where medical subjects carry less value, but yes, the subjects like medicine, surgery, and pharmac, they carry the utmost notation. So if you want to score, you should score first in the dental subjects, then you should start putting your hold on the medical one. Okay. Why dental? Because they are scoring, because their number of questions are going to be higher and they are easy to score as compared to the medical. When you go into the exam hall, every MCQ has a face value of +4 and every MCQ has a face value of -1 also. When you come out of the hall, nobody's going to ask you how many you scored in medicine, pharma, biochem, patho, or OP or OMR. Only thing which will matter is how many are plus, how many are minus. And so it hardly matters whether you score highest in OP OMR and you score very less in biochem. Out of 7, maybe you attempted only 5 and you got 4 correct. Nobody is going to ask you that. Only thing which matters is plus and minus sign, nothing else. Okay, I hope you got the concept of probability. Now I'm going to ask, come to a very, very important concept. Today we are sitting on 1st of March and our exam supposedly is on 16 December 21. Okay, we have this 9.5 months exact, to be very frank, for your exam to be there. What you are studying today, you have to remember till this date. You have to remember, there is no option. Okay, but what is the problem is we usually forget things very fast. I am like a very, like my students know me, I'm a very like a movie freak person. I watch a lot of movies and in the English and whatever I understand. Recent one I like, I couldn't resist myself watching Drishyam 2 also in Malayalam on Amazon Prime, because I cannot wait for the part 2 to come in Hindi. But yes, there was a movie called Gajini in Hindi. I'm not very sure what was the name in the Malayalam or Tamil, but I think the name was very much known. There was a character in which the disease was very profoundly described. Can anybody know? Remember the disease? It was called short-term memory loss, anterograde amnesia, short-term memory loss. To be very frank, every one of us suffers from short-term memory loss. Every one of us. We don't remember what we had 3 days back in the breakfast. We don't remember what we wore, what color clothes we were wearing 7 days back. Maybe you remember today, but after 2 days again you will forget that. Okay. The purpose to tell you is the brain is not working the way you want. The brain has to be conditioned if you want the things to be remembered for 9.5 months. Say, suppose what you are reading today, you have to remember for 9 months. There has to be some system, there has to be something done with your brain. So you have to play with your brain, then only your memory will be strong enough to remember. Otherwise, what will happen is you start syllabus from today, you will finish off syllabus in 6 months, then again you will start remembering things. Again, you will keep on forgetting. So what we have to do is we have to work on a system in which you remember the things. This is how I explain you the things, how the brain or the memory works. Our brain works exactly like your phone or your computer. It has got two kinds of memories. One is called RAM and one is called your hard disk, like what you have in your laptop or phone. You have internal storage basically. In brain, this we call short-term memory and this we call long-term memory. If I ask you what is 12 into 12, you can easily answer within seconds, that is 144, even though you haven't done this calculation in last 10 years. But still you are able to do this calculation because this type of multiplication, the tables, the simplest of multiplication is there in your long-term memory. What is your phone number? What is your friend's phone number? What is your address? What is your birthday, parents' birthday? Many things are there which are in your long-term memory. Okay, many events, what you were wearing 10 years back on your birthday, what friend, like who gave you what present is also remembered. Which movie you went to the theater, along with whom you went, you still remember. These are in your long term memory. But yes, short term memory is also a part of the brain which is very significant, especially for the studies. I'll tell you how the brain works. Whatever you read today, whatever we do, say I wore a blue t-shirt today, this information my brain will transfer first to the short term memory. It will never transfer to the long term memory. Why? Because brain doesn't know that. You have to tell the brain that this data I want over a long period of time. Okay, brain doesn't know this information when you are doing that action. When you are reading one page of perio, one page of ortho, one page of dental materials, nobody knows, brain doesn't know whether you will ask for this information in June, July, August or December. So what brain will do is brain will transfer that data first into the short term memory. This is what is happening in your phone as well as your computer also. Also, one important thing you must have noticed, RAM is always very less as compared to the hard disk. RAM is say 4 GB, 6 GB, 8 GB, and this is say 1 TB. You can have expandable memory, infinite memory you want. Okay, but this is very limited. Likewise, short-term memory is also very limited. Say 4 GB. You gave 1 GB information today, then you gave 2 GB information, then you gave 3 GB, then you gave 4 GB. It is full. Now what happens is when you give the fifth GB, it will go into short-term memory and it will delete the first GB. If you add sixth one, it will delete the second GB also. And this is how short-term memory keeps on developing and short-term memory keeps on getting erased. Okay, I'll share a very classical graph that is called as memory curve. Okay, just 1 second. Yeah, here we have number of days 0. This is 180 days. Okay, 180 days, that is 6 months. Suppose today we have 100% of information. Say suppose I read 2 pages of one subject, say dental materials. I teach you DM. Okay, 100% information is there from those 2 pages and I have read today. The memory curve goes like this. After 6 months, it will become 0. This graph is called forgetting curve. Okay, nobody is going to ask you this. This is given in the psychology, psychiatry actually. Okay, or neuroscience, neurophysiology. What do you call? This is called forgetting curve, and this is actually considered as the defense mechanism of the brain. This is the defense. The brain has conditioned itself to forget things. Otherwise, what will happen is if you tend to remember each and everything, you will fight with your parents. When I was 1 year old, you had slapped me. When I was 2 year old, you didn't give me Maggie, okay, for 2 days, and you will keep on cursing everybody. So brain will go mad, you will go mad. That is what the brain says. You have to forget things to remain happy. And that is what the scientists say, this is the defense mechanism of the brain, or mechanism of the brain to forget the things. So what happens is brain has a tendency to forget because this data had gone into short-term memory, and over a period of time, when you kept on adding short-term memory, more and more things to it, it deleted the previous one. But yes, there is a curve parallel to this also, and this is called as the memory curve, which maintains the same 100% of information even more than 180 days, which can be infinite time. What you had remembered, you can remember for rest of your life also. But there is a way out. It has to be re-intervened. The peaks have to be generated again and again. And I call this as a very simple 1-2-1-2 rule. Okay, whatever you study today, revise after 1 day, then revise after 2 days, then revise after 1 week, then after 2 weeks, then 1 month, then 2 months, and it will start going into your long-term memory. It will start going into your hard disk that you will never forget, so that when you come at the level of December, you are not worried what I studied in March. You don't have to repeat it. Okay, you have to trust your brain long-term memory for the data, because in exam you cannot revise everything 1 minute before the exam. You have to trust your brain, you have to trust your long-term memory. So this is the secret of the top rankers who actually keep on revising right from day one. Now I'll tell you how exactly the studies go by in our institute, and all those who have joined, you know that. Okay, we have a system like we are teaching you through live classes on your mobile app. Live classes, we have told you there are going to be 2 rounds of syllabus which we are going to conduct before the October of live classes. Right now round 1 is going on. In round 1 we are doing one subject in 2 weeks approx. 10 to 14 days we will finish off one subject, okay, through the live classes, and after that the next subject will keep on coming up. In round 2, because there won't be that much time left, so we will have one subject in 1 week. All those who have attended this subject here, you need not to bother, do not attend and waste your time in round 2. Whatever subjects you have started with, say suppose you started with ortho, which just got over yesterday. Okay, ortho, if you started with ortho, count ortho as your first subject and finish off all 19 subjects from ortho onwards. Forget what was taught before ortho in the academy, because the academy goes in constant circle. The student keeps on joining, the student keeps on leaving the group once they have finished off the syllabus. Okay, what I want to tell you is, suppose like tomorrow 2nd of March we are starting with the subject called pedodontics. Okay, what we tell our students is, do not study pedo and come for the class. Basically, do not study pedo and attend the class. You come blank, I would say. You are not that, sorry, you don't have to do any work before the class. See, you have joined the academy. Okay, the teacher is going to teach you almost everything. We are going to teach you more than 90% of the syllabus from the most standard textbooks which are relevant for your need and aims in India. That is, pedo will be taught from Shobha Tandon, also from McDonald's, and little bit from Finn also, which you may find very difficult to read at times. Okay, teacher will teach you more than 90%. See, here is a catch. I never say we teach you 100%. Nobody can teach you 100%. Like oral pass Schaeffer's, if you want a person to teach you each and every lesion of Schaeffer's, then you require more than 1 year time for that. Okay. So what we tell you is we teach you more than 90% through the basic lectures. Remaining is covered through the questions or some notes or relevant points. Okay. Anybody who says I'm teaching you 100%, either he's God or he's purely lying. There's nothing in between actually. So when you are coming for the class, do not study anything, just attend the class. When you are attending the class, listen to the faculty definitely, understand the concepts and make your notes. See, when you are sitting in a class, even in a physical classroom, your teacher is standing in front of you, he or she is teaching you something, you will not sit like this. Okay, okay. What you will do is you will note down something. So note down, make notes. Okay. When I was talking about revising your this 1-2-1-2 rule, this we are valid only if you have your own notes. It is possible to revise your own notes on daily basis, on weekly and monthly basis. It is not practical to revise textbooks or MCQ books on weekly basis. Okay. Your notes are your best friend entire year of preparation. There is so much of chaos, so much of havoc being created related to notes. Dr. Niyaz sir will tell you what is happening in the PG world. Everybody is selling their notes like anything. You know, when students ask me what is the best book, I tell them a simple answer. The best book is what you are going to write for yourself in the entire year. That is the best book for you, because that is something which will create drishyam memory, that is photographic memory. You have to, like, once you see the question, say question comes, what is the syndrome associated with OKC, you will remember, oh, it is written in my register right hand top, I had written Gorlin-Gott syndrome. You don't have to remember what was there in Pulse, Gauri Shankar, any other book, or even Schaeffer's. You cannot remember Schaeffer's, but you can easily have a photographic memory. The word I'm repeating, the movie was based only on this simple word that is called Drishyam, that pictures have got memory. Okay, if you have revised your register 100 times before the NEET exam, which the students usually do, all those who make a top ranking, you will never make a mistake in the exam. Okay, never ever. So these things are going to help you only if you're making notes. So notes, how to make notes, just attend the lecture, understand the lecture, and note down the important points. After the lecture, if you feel there are few gaps, like you couldn't write down something, not a problem. The recording of the lecture is going to be there and it will remain till the NEET exam. Okay, you don't have to bother. You can rewind it, go back and watch it again. Also, what we do is, whatever, like this is what I am writing, whatever the teacher is writing during the class, that PDF also we upload in the same batch in the app. Okay, by same night or maximum by tomorrow morning, we uploaded whatever teacher has written or drawn the diagram. You can easily go back and revisit that. Open it up in your phone, which you always carry, nobody leaves. You can go without your specs to a college, but you cannot go without your phone, I know that. Okay, so this is something which is going to help you. Now what happens is, once your class is done, say I'll tell you a basic example, dental materials, I'll teach you entire Phillips, what is relevant, I'll teach you some part of Craig. Then there is a book by Powers and Bataha, I'll cover that little portion because one question came from recent times from that book also. Okay, I'll cover say DM in say 30 odd hours. If you try, you can read these books yourself also and cover the same syllabus. But what will happen is, to cover the same syllabus, you will require minimum 60 hours. which I was doing in 30 hours. That is the only difference which brings about like what the coaching or academy brings about, nothing else. We are not the person who will ask you to underline something in Phillips and go back home and read yourself. We are not that segment of academy. Okay. We believe when you are trusted us, when you are joined us, it is our duty to teach you each and everything which is important in the textbook. We are not going to get you, make you a list that these are the important headings. When you go back home, please read it from the book. I believe that was always known to you. Okay. What is important in Schaefer was already known to you. What is important in Phillips, Studevant, Grossman, you know that beforehand, even before joining the academy. So hardly matters. We cover everything. Yes. What you have to go back and do is like next part is that only. Say suppose 2nd March tomorrow you attended a pedo class. Tomorrow faculty will teach you 2 chapters. Okay. So you attended the class, you understood the 2 chapters, you made the notes from these 2 chapters. You finish off the class, don't study that night, take a break. Okay. You had already attended 3 to 4 hours class, is already very heavy, I believe. Okay. You can sleep over it. Next morning, 3rd of March, your first duty should be what? Revise your notes. What you note down on 2nd of March. Class notes. Okay. Revise them once when you wake up, after brushing or before brushing, read them. Just revise your notes once so that you don't forget the things. Your memory will start accepting it. Now the brain will start knowing, oh, this student is asking me this information again, then tomorrow again. So let me transfer it from the short term to the long term memory, because just this data is something he keeps on asking me again and again. Okay. 3rd March, finish off your notes once. Then what is the duty of a student is, say those 2 chapters, solve the MCQs related to those 2 chapters only from Pulse, preferably not Gauri Shankar. Yes, Gauri Shankar is good for ortho, DM, public health, pedo and anatomy, but still Pulse is a decent standard, I would say. It has given you chapter wise questions. Solve the questions before, try solving them before the next class. Okay, do this much, then you come to the next class, follow the same routine. But during those 10 to 14 days when one subject is being going on, one thing which you have to do on daily basis, I would say OD dose once daily, is revise entire register daily. Revise your own register daily. Make separate registers for separate subjects so that you don't make a, you can say, mix them up and later on you are searching and it is a problem. Okay. We even give you 2 more things. What is study material? Don't touch it as of now. Use it in the revision time. We will tell you how to do it. Also is topper notes. All those who have joined, they know that this year we have taken the notes of 36 All India ranker Dr. Yamini Saraf, because her notes are so beautifully written. And I had shared one photo also with my students when I received the parcel. It was this big parcel I received of 19 registers she had sent to me. Okay. What we have done is we have scanned them, colored, like what she has written so beautifully. She has used colored pens, 4 5 colors she has used to write one subject, made diagrams with pencil and color labeling and all. We are uploading these notes for you guys in the individual batches. Like ortho batch, you will find ortho notes, PhD batch, you will find PhD notes. The purpose is like, I would say these notes are actually waste, but still you can utilize when you are done with say 2 chapters of pedo. When you are done with those 2 chapters of pedo, just open up notes of topper previous ranker. Okay, open up these 2 chapters and try find out if she had written anything extra beyond you. Then note down in your own register. Even when after the lecture you are solving Pulse, say for these 2 chapters you are solving MCQs, say maximum they had 100 MCQs. say easily you were able to solve 20 questions created problem for you at this stage. Firstly, circle them or put a star against those questions. Second important thing is note down these 20 MCQs as one liner in your register. Like note down the question and put a fill in the blank, note down the answer here with a pencil. What will happen is next time when you're revising your register, you're going to revise these 20 odd points also. And next time when you're going to revise your pulse, you will not make a mistake. Okay. So anything which troubles you, note down in your register, because this is the thing you're going to keep on revising on daily basis for the entire 9.5 months. Last thing, when to see a textbook. Okay, you have to refer to a textbook firstly for images. Though we will also cover images through many lectures and tests and all that, but still always refer the text images from the standard textbook, because the questions which are going to come image based in your main exam are going to be taking images from the most standard textbooks. They are not going to be taken from Google or anywhere else. Okay, they are the most important. By images, I actually mean when you see the image, there are few 2-3 lines written beneath the image. Read those lines. Okay, and images I also means diagrams, graphs, tables, charts, anything pictographic, go through them. Okay, say suppose in those 2 chapters which we did today, you saw 20 images in the textbook. Out of those 20, you find 2 images which were very new to you. You had never ever read about those 2 images or graphs in your life. Again, same thing, note down in your register, make a separate page for images. What is the page number and what was the image all about? Just a brief, like image on say pediatric triangle or maybe some whatever it is. Okay, just note down the heading of the image so that when you are revising your register, you know you have to revisit your textbook for that image once. Okay, so if you are working like this, what you are doing is you are building a plot which is going to be a foolproof. I'll tell you why. What will happen is whenever the examiner, say pedo guy, pedo HOD somewhere down the line is going to make your paper, what he's going to do is open up the textbook. He will go to the most important chapters. Every chapter will have some important headings. Some important headings will have some important points. If those important points and headings are already there in your register, then you are actually cracking the code of the examiner. Okay, you can easily be fooled around. I'll tell you what I mean by this. I'll give you a simplest example. The most common lesion, like which has been asked in last decade of exam in OP, is fibrous dysplasia. Okay, they have asked you what are the variants of fibrous dysplasia, then what is the radiographic appearance, what is the histologic appearance, what is the hockey stick deformity associated with. Then they had asked you the gene associated with fibrous dysplasia. Then they had asked about McCune-Albright syndrome, okay, Jeffrey-Lichtenstein syndrome. Anything and everything of FD has been asked in the past papers. Okay, so it means if such a disease which has been so favorite of examiner, you have to read in and out of it. You cannot skip anything. So these things will no one will tell you except the past papers of AIMS and NEET are going to tell you that few things of each subject are very, very important. So when you know that fiber dysplasia is very important, when you are reading a textbook, I would ask you to flip the pages of the textbook for this also. Okay, I'll give you another simple example. Like, cyst is a chapter in OP which is important. Okay, there are many cysts which are there, but yes, radicular cyst, dentigerous cyst, OKC, these 3 are the most important ones. You cannot go into an exam hall by not reading about them. You know that. Okay, OKC, I told you, they can ask you anything. So when you are flipping through the pages of textbook, flip for OKC. Do not waste time on reading all the cysts. You cannot remember all the information. Okay. But OKC, just see once if the anything by chance is something you find extra in Schaefer's, note down in your register, and that's it. As such, I told you 90% or maybe 99% of the important point about OKC will be covered in the lecture itself. Okay. So I'll ask you, dentigerous cysts, you all know a lot of varieties, radiographic appearances, classification, histology, many things. Can anybody name what is the syndrome associated with dentigerous cyst? I'll give you the basic hint. It is given in the Schaefer's first paragraph about the cyst. Can anybody answer this? Niyaz sir will help me on this.
Somebody is typing, sir.
Yeah,
Just wait
please,
one
I'll
minute.
wait. I hope you guys are understanding also, because it's supposedly Zoom, but it looks like a lecture to me now.
But students are hearing like this. They have taken a photograph.
Great.
I think somebody was typing. Now the typing is stopped. In the
Typing is gone.
yes.
See, this is why I asked you, is because this is one question which everyone skips. See, what I want to tell you is start thinking like examiner. This is the only place where you will have to go through the textbook once. Okay, we're not asking you to read from first page to last page. We're just asking you to browse through the textbook so that you don't miss out even a smallest of information about the most important topics of the chapter. Okay.
Cleidocranial dysplasia. I got one answer.
Another hint. It is an MPS disorder. Mucopolysaccharidosis disorder.
Gorlin-Gott's.
Gorlin-Gott's is OKC. OKC is Gorlin-Gott's syndrome. I'll tell you the answer. It's Marie-Lamitox syndrome. Half of you might not have even heard of, but yes, you have to read it in biochemistry also, and you have to read it in, it's there in your Schaefer's. Nothing else I want to say more. And if it's there in the Schaefer's, examiner has got full right to ask you. Okay, what they'll give you is they'll give you a picture of dentigerous, that is an unerupted tooth surrounded by radiolucency. They'll give you the age of the patient. They'll give you a description. Maybe they'll give you some histologic appearance also. And now they will ask you what is the syndrome associated with this radiographic appearance. Okay, and then that's where your mind will start playing games, because you have never seen this name in your life if you have not browsed through the standard textbook like Schaefer's. Okay, so I'll just summarize. Every subject has got important chapters like Schaefer, developmental disturbances, cyst, benign malignant tumors, salivary gland tumors, caries, physical chemical injuries, bone pathologies, skin pathologies, pre-malignant lesions and conditions, infections. They are very important. Every chapter has got some of the few important topics. On an average, it is like we say every chapter has got 0 to 10 important topics, not more than that. Okay. If I tell you benign malignant tumor is the biggest chapter of Schaefer's, but you have to read not more than 10 tumors, your job is, I think 1/4 is done. Oh, sorry, 3/4 is done. You just have to read 1/4 of the chapter. Okay. Then comes every topic has got 0 to 10 important points. If you are reading up to this level, you are beating the examiner. If you are missing 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, 4 points, you are giving an examiner to cheat you on the day of exam, trouble you on the day of exam. Okay. And you know what is the best strategy? Best strategy to do is form a small group, study group. Form a small study group. Minimum 2, maximum I would say 4. More than 4 is a crowd for me. I may be wrong. See, anywhere you go, even in a car, the fifth one has to be adjusted. Like the guy has to push the two people in between to get fitted into the car. You go to a restaurant, you'll find a table for two, you'll find a table for three, you will find for four. Fifth one has to drag a chair from the next bench. Okay. You go anywhere, the four people is it forms a good circle actually. The fifth one has to sit outside the circle. Why I'm saying is the more there are in a group, higher are the chances of not studying. Okay. So you form a small group, make a WhatsApp group of yourselves. Okay. Don't involve any one of us. Say four of you have made a small group for 2021. You can name it 2021 champions. Okay. Then you make a small WhatsApp group. Say you were studying SIS today. Study on your own. Somebody is studying in library, somebody is at home, somebody at hostel, wherever you decide a time, meet with your friends either physically or on the WhatsApp group, say 7 p.m. tonight. Okay. Or 10 p.m. tonight. Once you have done, okay, ask each other questions. Ask each other questions. Ask only those questions whose answers are known to you. Don't ask illogical things. Okay. Share the information with your group. Today you may feel that you have contributed 4 extra points to them, but tomorrow you will gain 40 from them, that's for sure. So maintain a healthy competition amongst your group. I'll tell you a study, like even at my place, students who study together get selected together. That's why I said don't involve more people, because like there are very high chances you may feel distracted. What is the benefit of group is, even if you're not studying today, tomorrow you'll feel guilty and you'll start studying. Okay. How many days you will escape not answering? How many days you will want to face the shamefulness? It is limited. Okay. Nobody can face rest of their lives. So 2 to 4 is a pretty decent. It's not compulsion. It's just a suggestion. If you have a better methodology of remembering things, it's like your call. But this way, when you ask the questions, you are remembering your facts. Plus, when you're somebody is asking you question, you are going to recollect the facts which you read entire day. So these should meet your daily targets. Okay. Suppose like yesterday faculty had covered 2 chapters. Today you revise those chapters from the notes. You solve the question of those 2 chapters from the pulse. You saw the images of those 2 chapters from the textbook. Evening, you guys discuss those 2 chapters. It's done. Trust me, you will not forget in rest of your life. Whatever 2-3 points extra you gained, again transfer it to your class notes. If one thing you want to carry to your college is that should be your class notes. Do not carry voluminous pulse and do show off. Yes, if you want to impress any girl, a guy wants to impress any girl, maybe a junior usually, then you should carry the pulse. Okay. Otherwise, simply carry one register. Whenever you get time in the college, whenever you get, flip through the pages of your own handwriting, nothing else. And this will give you the best of benefit. You will actually, I don't want to say, but this is, you will thank me after 1 month of your following this regimen, this recipe. Okay. You will feel the difference in yourself. Your data will start sticking to your long-term memory. Now, one thing which I wanted to ask you, which you should actually ask me, is how many hours per day you have to study to get into top 100, say. See, I cannot say top 1 rank. Even rank 1 doesn't know that he or she will get rank 1 next year. So let us be very practical. We are in toppers category, so we will be sticking to top 25, top 50, top 100 is also a topper. Okay. How many hours per day is required to score? Anybody? Please message so that Dr. Nias can share the result.
12.
12. This is not IAS
10.
exam.
10, 8, 4.
Okay.
8. 13 to 14. That's the biggest.
Please try for IAS. Forget MDS. You are not MDS material. You are way above that.
8 is the most people answered. 8. Initially 6, then
Can
10.
you manage 8 hours with your internship? Now answer this. My college, I'm from GDC Mumbai. My college timings used to be 8:30 to 4:30. I don't know about what is in Calicut. Okay. And after 4:30, especially if you had some prosto posting or endo posting, we didn't even feel like seeing our own faces. We were dead tired. So till 6 o'clock, though, I was sleeping actually. And after 6, you cannot have 8 hours definitely.
Here at Calicut, timing is 8 to 2. After 2, most of them are free.
Lucky guys.
And also due to COVID, number of cases are very low.
Thank COVID. Actually, this last year students were also thanking COVID who got selected in first shot. Okay. See, I'll tell you a practical algorithm. All those who are doing their internship, see, we should have a sensible target which is achievable. I can also say study for 20 hours. You'll do it for one day, next day you will not open in the book. And third day you'll say, tell that this guy was mad who told me 20 years, he's an idiot. Okay, forget that. We have to be practical, and we have to be, the most important thing about entrances, you have to be consistent. Okay, we had discussed 9.5 months. That is approximately, you can say, 300 days. And that is actually a golden figure. If you get a rank less than 300, sure you are getting a very good government college. Okay, say suppose you consider yourself rank 1 today. You don't study today, you are rank 2. You don't study tomorrow, you are rank 3. Because somewhere down the line in the entire country, there will be one person who will be studying when you are not studying. Okay, so he or she will supersede you every day. So you have to study daily basis. Now, when you are with your internship, my suggestion is come to an average of 5 to 6 hours per day. Average. Even if you go up to 4 in a day at times, average of 28 to 30 hours per week is pretty decent. Pretty decent. And this I am including, this time I am including the time of the class. When you are attending, say, our class from 5:30 to 9:30, which is like 3.5 hours of actual teaching, count this, and remaining just do 2 hours more of study that day. It is more than enough. Okay. Now, what is if you are post intern, if your internship is over, if you are in post intern, then just double it up. That is 10 to 12 hours per day average should come, because you have got nothing except studying the entire day. Okay. Now, how to balance this? Say 9 to 2, your college is there. Come back home, have food, take a nap till 4 p.m. Easily you can brush it off, get up at 4 p.m., have tea or coffee, whichever suits you best and wakes you up. 4 to 7, take a good 3-hour study, or maybe 8, you can finish off this. Then 7 to 9 or 8 to 10, have dinner with friends, family, wherever you are staying, have some quality time with them, talk, discuss life, enjoy a little bit, relax. Then 9 or 10 to 12 max more, 2 more hours. It is pretty decent. If you can manage with this, you are a topper. Because more than this is actually not required also. Yes, the fact is simple, you should study more, but you should not study to that level when you don't start remembering things. Okay. I know you will have breaks in between, you will have vacations at times, you will have offs, you will have Sundays, you can always increase your hours. Okay. Say suppose it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You started with 5 hours, you did 5 more. Wednesday was your very hectic day in your life. You could manage only 2 or 3 hours. Okay. Even if it is the worst day, I would suggest just study 1 hour. Don't skip a day. Do not make it a 0. Okay. Okay. Don't make it a 0. Just read your register for once and sleep. This day, start compensating for this loss. 6 or 7, maybe 6 and again 6. So things are going to be balanced. Your average weekly hours matter more than your average daily hours. Okay, it's not about studying every day for 10 hours. It's like not very practical approach. If you go through the interviews of even the top ranker students, everyone has a bad phase in between because it's a long journey. Okay, it's a very, very long journey. Okay, so coming back to the thing which I started with, I asked you two questions. Expectations, chalo, this is done. How many attempts will fetch you a NEET rank? How many attempts? Because at times I get students who say we have been studying for 2 years, we have been studying for 3 years, or this is my first attempt. Okay, according to me, for everyone, it's always the first attempt which gives you a seat. Don't get me wrong. Suppose you have to give an exam this year and you know there are 19 subjects which have to be read before entering the NEET. You read only 12 subjects and went for the NEET exam. I won't take it as an attempt. Ideally speaking, you should not have entered the exam hall only. Next year you did 14 subjects, then you gave and the result was again bad. Third year you studied all 19, gave the paper, paper went well and you got a rank. So basically the logic is simple. The year in which you will study, you will get a rank. Okay, so this year can be the year of internship, or maybe 1 year after internship, or maybe 2 years after internship. It is your choice. If you are able to finish off the syllabus, revise your syllabus, practice the MCQs in internship itself, you'll get a rank after internship only. Why you want to wait 1 or 2 years after that? So there is only and only one attempt in which a student cracks the exam, and that attempt is the one when he or she is actually fully prepared. And this logic is not for NEET, it is logic for life. Okay, the day you are prepared, you get success. The day you are not prepared, you will never taste success. Okay, so this is all what I wanted to share about the preparation strategy, how to study, how to plan the preparation. Any query you have, just let me know.
Yes, yes, sir. I have got 3 or 4 questions.
Yes, please.
And before going to that, I should say it was an excellent. I should say every point is mentioned in this orientation. And what I should say is that before this Mr. is coming, I was stressing on the notes importance of that's the main thing. Everybody, if you are after you're completing your entrance, you itself will tell your juniors this that the note is very important thing, and we have to revise the thing. And the second important what I feel is the average hour per day. That's a very important thing, because in MDMS preparation also we have seen students studying for 12 and 14 hours continuously for 1 or 2 weeks, and she or she will take a break for 1 week, and that everything what we have built is lost in that time. That's the thing. So impulsively some students will study 10-12 hours a day and next day completely skipping. That totally wrong, and I should stress that. And what I got the doubt is, one is how much MCQ should a person to solve to get a good rank in NEET?
Sir, it's not about MCQs. The recent pattern, even in your NEET PG.
I think he's asking out of 240, how much a person should
Yeah,
solve.
that's a great question. I'll tell you. Ideally speaking, I'll give you 2-3 scenarios. Okay, I'll ask you very simple logic, and you will know the answer. You'll answer it yourself. There are 3 students. I gave the paper. I attempted 220 MCQs. Another student, chalo 4 like I'll take, attempted 232. Say student number 1, student 2, student number 3 attempted 202. Student number 4, 178. First, tell me one thing. When you just, if you don't know how many are positive, how many are negative, okay, you just know the statistics that 4 students gave the exam And these are the number of questions they attempted. First thing which you should be like judging them is, who do you think was prepared more that day? One who attempted 178 or one who attempted 232? Sir, we can interact, like you can answer. I am taking you as one of the person who is attending this
Good.
session.
I will definitely think of the 232 attended student.
See, it's a very simple logic. I'm sorry. There is an MCQ. There are 4 options. If I know the question, either I'll mark it correct. Okay. If I've read the question, if I've understood the question, I will never make it wrong. I will never leave the question. At least I'll not leave the question. Okay. I'll attempt it. But simultaneously, if there is a question which is of a topic, say I'll ask you a drug, what is the mechanism of action of, say, levosimendan? To some of you, you have not heard of this drug. Forget about the mechanism. You don't even know the chapter where the drug belongs to. Okay, such question you will have no option but to leave. So the first judgment is, the student who is leaving maximum questions is actually less prepared. He or she has not even touched the entire syllabus which was demanded by the NEET exam. Okay, we are taking all 4 are sailing in the same boat. They are from the same preparation level. They are not done the gambling. Okay, just to explain you. So first parameter of success in NEET is how many number of attempts, how many questions you are going to attempt. And this factor, this is dependent only on one factor, how much is the syllabus you have covered. You don't read 10 chapters in Pharmac. How can you attempt all 14 MCQs? Your 4-5 MCQs are already gone. You leave. I'll give you another simple theory on this. 19 subjects, you leave 2 subjects, don't study them. Definitely 14 into 2, 28 questions you will face problem. So your 240 minus 28 is already done, gone. Okay, you cannot attempt more than 222. Secondly, even in those 17 subjects, you will not be able to attempt 100%. Maybe you attempted 95%. So another 10 questions you lose. So your attempt will be 212. You cannot attempt more than that. Second logic, in one subject, you didn't read the entire subject. You read only 50% of medicine, say suppose. And in medicine, they asked you 15 questions. So you were able to attempt only 7. Your 8 questions are gone. You cannot attempt if you have not read the subject at all. So if your attempt is less, your rank is definitely going to go down the drain. It is going to be badly affected. Okay. With the simple logic, this is based on my experience. I have even posted videos on YouTube. Okay. You can go through that. Whatever you attempt, minimum 10% mistakes are bound to happen. Minimum. If you attempt 230, you will make minimum 23 mistakes. You cannot deny this. And I'll tell you the students average in last 4 years in NEET MDS exam. Students average is 19.5%. How much they are attempting? They are making 19% mistakes out of that. Even the top ranker. There is a video on YouTube. What score? What rank? Type this and type Amit Lal. You will see that video. The video has got more than 25,000 views, I think 20,000, 30,000 views. Okay. What score, what rank? Just see that video after this and you will understand the why what I am trying to say. Second part is accuracy. First secret of cracking NEET is maximum attempt. How much you can attempt, the more you attempt, the more are the chances of getting a rank. With a simple logic, more attempt means you have studied more. Or you can take it vice versa. If you have studied more, if your syllabus coverage is good, you will be able to attempt more. Second is accuracy. How many were positive and how many were negative? This is based again only on one parameter, that is how much revision you had been doing. Basically, how much things you remember and how much things you don't remember. I'll tell you a simple question. APF gel concentration used in fluoride prophylaxis is how much? If you know the answer, 1.23%. Options are this: 3.21, 2.31, 1.32. If you know the answer, you will never leave the question and you will never mark it wrong. It will always be positive if you remember the answer. That is what we tell our students. Read the question and you should know the answer like a fill in the blank. Treat each and every MCQ like fill in the blank. Okay. Treat each and every, the moment you read the case story, a patient came with so and so problem, this much was PCO2, this much was PO2, tell me what is the situation. Immediately when you come to the last point of the statement, answer comes into your brain. The question is on metabolic acidosis or metabolic alkalosis. Without thinking twice, your option should not be telling you the answer. You know, MCQs are considered the easiest way of conducting an exam worldwide. There is no other exam in the world in which there is a question and there is an answer also written in front of your eyes. You had given your university exam, you were given blank sheets till date. Okay, right from your schooling till your university exams. Nobody gave you the answer sheet also and asked you to tick mark it. But simultaneously, MCQ is considered as the toughest exam because they give you 3 more closely related options. That is the problem. Then there are two kinds of students related to this. One who know the answer without looking at the options, and the one who is dependent upon the options to tell the answer. You decide upon yourself in which category you want to come into. If you are in the first category, that the moment you read the question, APF gel concentration, my eyes immediately wanted to search for 1.23. The only job is now to see 1.23 is written in A, B, C, or D. Okay. Or if you don't remember this value, you can see the options and you can always get confused between what the students say. I got confused between two options. You got confused between two options because you couldn't clearly remember the exact value. So when we were talking about accuracy, it is all about how much you remember and how much you don't remember. And it is all dependent on one parameter, that is revision. And we have discussed a lot that you have to revise what you are studying on daily basis. You cannot wait for the syllabus to first get finished and then you will start revising. Okay, don't wait for that. Don't wait for that. That is going to spoil your preparation and you will be under tremendous pressure. Even if like you missed out 10% of the subject this week, revise that 90%, at least 10% can be covered up later. But revising entire 100% is going to be a big problem later on. Okay. Anything else, Dr.
Okay, sir. Two questions. I have got two questions regarding the material.
Regarding
With this material, means apart from our regular class and studies, what they have to look apart from dental pulse, any other book to refer? Was that
dental
question?
pulse is good. Neeraj Vadhavan is good for AIPG NEET past papers. As such, we are covering this book in our app. But still, if you want, you should buy it. If you want the hard copy, you can buy it.
Okay. And also, while doing MCQs, should that student read all the explanation below that question, or should they go to the notes?
Good question, I will say. See, I'll come back to the same thing. You attended a class, teacher taught you 2 chapters, you understood the 2 chapters. Next morning, you revised those 2 chapters from your notes. Now it's like you opened up Pulse. You opened up chapter 1 from Pulse. Say, suppose it has got 50 MCQs. Okay. Do these MCQs like a test. Since you have understood the chapters, you have attended the class, and you have revised the notes. Attempt these MCQs like a test. Okay, self-test. When you do a test at home or hostel, whatever you are staying in, try having either correct or leave the question. Try not having wrong. How will you do it? You are reading 50 MCQs. Say 30 MCQs you know very strongly. 20 you have some doubt, you are not very sure of. Leave it. Leave at this stage in the initial days of preparation. Do not make a guesswork. Okay. Now next thing is, see the topics of these 20 MCQs. See the topics these 20 MCQs belong to. Okay. Say you will take one question number 17, you left it. Now question number 17, first try to see, there are two possibilities. The detailing of that question number 17 is there in your own register. It is there or it is not there. Two possibilities. There may be some extra fact which is some copy pasted from some textbook, or like there can be a fact or figure I told you which is going to be little extra than the regular teaching. Okay. If it is there in your register, it means what? You have not revised your register nicely. It means there is some loophole which you have to work upon. But if that thing is not there in the register, at this stage, I would actually advise you to open up textbook and verify that, or you can click a photograph and post it in the WhatsApp group. Faculty will answer. Okay. These things are very clear shorted. Okay. Don't waste time. If it is there in your regular textbook, it is the best exercise which you will do for yourself. Just read that paragraph, use the index of the book, go to that paragraph, read that paragraph. Anything extra you are finding out, transfer it to your register. That's likewise you do for remaining 19 MCQs also. Explanations, if you are reading textbook and if you are reading your register again, you may not need explanations much. Or like book like Neeraj Madhavan, which has written extra, so much of extra explanation. If you want, you can just browse through it. If anything like you find of relevance, you can underline or maybe written right in your register. But most
Also,
of the time, it is going to be very repetitive.
they're asking about the synopsis part of this Pulse book. After the MCQ area,
Synopses are pretty decent. Synopses are decently good of Pulse. Okay. You can add it as an exercise before solving these 50 MCQs. Read the synopsis also. Or you can do one thing. Say within 2 weeks, we are going to finish off your subject within 10 days or 12 days. Okay. Once we finish off your subject, that time you can keep on reading this. That time you can revise the synopsis, or you can read 2 pages of synopsis for that particular subject, so that in 10 days you easily finish off those synopsis also. See, it is all about time management. If I ask you to read 30 pages of synopsis in one day, you will read it, but you won't remember it. Rather than spread it over 12 days, read 2.5 page daily, spread it over 2 weeks and finish off nicely. At least what 2 pages you are going to read today, you're going to remember it tomorrow. That is most important. It's not about reading and forgetting things. We have to keep on revisiting. And yes, if there is something very valuable figure which is given in the synopsis, very valuable chart or extra table, just add to your register. Otherwise, after the lecture, once you have attended the class, even the synopsis will look more or less familiar. It will not be something very out of the box information. Yes, sir.
Yes, almost all the questions are now complete. And one more is there regarding the study material. Will they get a printed study material or a hard copy of the material?
See, we have given you the soft copy that is free in the package. Okay, because we believe you can easily browse through it. Again, 80 to 90% information is same what is being taught in the lectures. Okay, 10-20% which is extra, you can always note down in your register. If you want hard copy, there are charges for printing, there are charges for courier. It is at 500 per book. You can order individual book also, you can order pura set also. It's your choice. Try this first. If you feel uncomfortable, you can always go for the hard copy. But I'll tell you very frankly, we are not the institute like Pulse or somewhere else. We are not here into selling of books. We don't believe in that. Okay, what we believe is in giving you information. We are already giving you as the soft copy. So like if you want the hard copy, you're most welcome. You can always pay that extra amount and take it. But if you can easily manage, it's not required. What I want to tell you is even our material, I'll say there are few materials which are class apart, which are very good, exceptionally good. I'll give you the list. Just buy those if you are planning to buy the hard copies. As such, they are again free. I'm telling you, the soft copies are free. The subjects like DADH, Patho, then DM, Oral Path, Pedo, Ortho, OMR, PhD, OS, and Perio. They are class apart. They are our best of materials. See, I don't have any hesitation in telling you that remaining material is not very good. Okay, we are working on that, but yes, these materials are like the ultimate ones. Super good, I would say. Okay.
Okay, sir. I think all the queries are over.
Okay, great then.
It's complete now.
Yeah.
If there are queries also, we will send directly. Anyway,
Yeah,
thank
sure.
you, sir.
Anytime.
Thanks a lot for a wonderful section.
No,
I should
thanks
say.
a lot, sir. Thank you everyone for being a patient audience and interactive, either through chat or through Dr.
This is one. I have taken the photos of the calls.
I'll share this now. I'll share this video also with you. If you want
Okay.
if the more students want to see it at the center, you can play it up.
Okay. Yes. Also, any students after joining after this week also, they will we will share the video. So
Yeah,
they will get a good orientation. I know there is a lack of good orientation because my sister is there. She's just a graduate, and she didn't even try to get one orientation before study. She simply buy some book and started reading, thinking it's this the.
See, it's not. See, I'll tell you simply like it's not very small. The syllabus is very vast. Okay, especially the medical subjects. But yes, we vouch for them. Our faculties of medicine, physio, patho, micro, pharmac, surgery, anatomy, you will not have to open up the textbooks. I assure you on that. Okay. See, I just wanted to share this. Like, these are the notes of the last year top ranker student, Dr. Yamini. See how the girl had made, and she was a intern while she was studying with us. She at Bhubaneswar Center, and she's from a college which is actually nobody knows the name of the college. Okay, Kalinga Institute. These 2-3 girls, rank 11, rank 17, is a boy, rank 36. They made the college super famous this year. See the notes of oral pathology, and these are the running notes. Okay, what she has made using the class, online class. See, fiber dysplasia, then biological classification. Then she has underlined ground glass, orange peel, purity orange, haphazard arrangement of trabeculae. She has then hyperparathyroidism. She has written there only. Okay, then radiological features. It is so beautifully written that if you have notes like this and you keep on revising them, how can you forget things? Like when I am browsing through it, even I am like able to remember the things whenever I open such things. I opened up for my subject also. Okay, like I teach you biochem and dental materials. See, she had made an index also, basics, enzymes from this page number and so on. See, biochemistry, name of the faculty, basics. I was really shocked when I saw that. I don't know what I'm teaching. At times, like by seeing this, I was so happy, and it was like I really wondered this much I had taught. Okay, 116 pages she has written on biochemistry. And yes, when you are making your notes such systematically, nothing can see. These are the points which she had transferred from the MCQ guides. TTX resistant sodium channel is what? Xanthine oxidase deficiency as a one liner. Okay. Leishman syndrome, genetic mapping, linkage, gold standard for measuring action of chorionic gonadotropin, just one liners. Okay. So when your entire textbook, when your entire MCQ book is there in this register, whenever the examiner is going to ask you something, he will ask you from this only. Okay. And this is something very, very precious content. So I thought, let me share with you guys. So I think it's done for the day, sir.
Yeah, yes, excellent, sir. Anyway,
Okay.
thanks a lot for spending such a 1.5 2 hours with us, sharing
Pleasure is
everything.
all
And I
mine,
think
sir.
that will give a boost. Definitely will give a boost for their preparation.
Yeah,
So
that's what is
kindly
needed.
share.
Like that's what is anybody who can extract something good, extract points from this today's session and take benefit out of it. I'll be more than happy to see the good results.
Okay, sir. Anyway, thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you.